Mi nombre es Elizabeth Arango y para el artículo de esta semana, continuando con la línea de investigación de las semanas pasadas, pues que ya estábamos hablando un poco más del gobierno corporativo, los efectos que tienen ciertas características o ciertos intereses particulares de los CEOs y los efectos que tienen en la empresa, incluso pues a nivel ya digamos económico de una manera mucho más macro. Pues ese artículo me pareció muy interesante, es de este año, se llama CEO Foreign Experience and Corporate Financial Investment y es como la experiencia en el extranjero de los CEOs puede, digamos, apoyar significativamente o dar resultados significativos en la inversión financiera de las empresas. Está bastante larguito, entonces vamos a leer como las partes más interesantes. Chief executive officers play a central role in a corporate investment decisions. Prior research shows that CEO characteristics significantly affect the efficiency of corporate investment activities. As the emerging markets such as China attract more and more return talents who have studied or worked abroad, hiring CEOs with foreign experience as a key member of the board of directors is a growing trend in those markets, which is important to improve corporate governance and investment practice. Although the effects of director and management with foreign experience have been recently investigated practice. Although the effects of directors and managers with foreign experience have been recently investigated, there is a few studies which focus on the effects of CEOs with foreign experience. A recent study conducted by Canyon en 2019 who examines the effect of CEO foreign experience on CEO total compensation, has found that CEO foreign experience is associated with higher CEO total compensation. To fill this void, we explore whether and how CEOs benefit from foreign experience affect corporate financial investment decisions. The question is essential as the investment is one of the most important corporate decisions in which CEOs are also involved. The existence of a CEO investment cycle, in which firms disband early in a CEO's tenure and increase investment subsequently, leading to the cycle firm growth in assets as in employment over CEO tenure. Mine will, as suggest by touching it at it 2017, firms nowadays hold a large portion of financial assets. Until 2019, 46% of Chinese-listed industrial firms had a wide range of financial assets amounting to 141 billion. Furthermore, explain finally the risks associated with heavy financial investments. Kenny Elevator Co. Limited, stock code 002367, a Chinese-listed industrial firm, serves a typical case where the purchase of financial products led to a significant financial scandal and substantial losses for the company and its shareholders. The agency of problems are more severe when firms invest more in financial assets of short-term profit but incur more risks in the long run, which takes advantage of minority pardon, shareholders' interests. Whether CEO foreign experience can curb such agency problems is still an empirical issue. CEO foreign experience has two opposite effects on corporate investments in financial assets. On the one hand, CEO overconfidence may tilt firms toward investments more in risk financial assets, Such overconfidence could raise its return managers against the ability to manage multi-asset portfolios from oversized study of employment position. Such human capital building, which leads to higher external salaries, decouples the manager's future compensation and investor returns. If firms have suffered several agency problems, such overconfidence may play a dominant role in an investigate more in risk financial assets. Under corporate investing in financial assets, CEOs, especially returning from the overdeveloped financial markets, are likely to over more experience with the recent global financial crisis and are versed in the way of risk management. Have learned lessons in financial investment. In addition, CEOs with foreign experience have greater reputation concerns about long-term shareholders' value increase through real investments and are still motivated to reduce high-risk financial investments. Are still motivated to reduce high-risk financial investments. Therefore, it is unclear how CEOs' foreign experience might affect corporate financial investments. To examine whether CEO foreign experience affects corporate financial investments, we hand collect CEO's personal information from corporate disclosures and additional sources. The information includes foreign education, work experience, host country in which CEOs with foreign experience user experience was obtained and current position in leased companies. We use one indicator variable to capture whether a firm has hired a CEO with foreign experience using a sample of Chinese leased companies from 2002 to 2018. We find a significantly negative association between CEO foreign experience and risk financial investments and a significantly positive association between CEO foreign experience and safety financial investments, suggesting CEO with foreign experience can help constrain their firm's financial investments. Further analysis reveals that the constraint effects of CEO foreign experience on corporate financial investments is more pronounced when firms suffer from poor internal and external corporate governance, suggesting CEOs with foreign experience acting as an alternative of monitoring mechanisms, which is consistent with the findings of G19 2015, especially CEO foreign experience in firms with lower analyst coverage and lower institutional investor holdings have greater impacts on reducing financial experience in firms investments than those in firms with higher analyst coverage and higher institutional investor holdings. Our results also indicate that the constituent effects of CEO foreign experience on corporate financial investments is more pronounced in state-owned enterprise. The constraint effects of CEO foreign experience. Voy a agrandar un poquito la letra porque casi no estoy viendo bien. Un poquito más. Listo. On corporate finance, investment is more pronounced in state-owned enterprise (SOEs) compared with the private firms. Confirm our findings that CEO with foreign experience act as an alternative of monitoring mechanisms in firms with poor corporate governance, such as COAs. Moreover, we find that CEO with foreign experience we have financial backgrounds could perform a better monitoring role of withholding risk financial investments than those who have not financial backgrounds. Involving the duration of CEO tenure, this paper finds that longer tenure of the CEOs with overseas experience promotes that firms' investment in safe financial assets. Furthermore, difference in the source of law in the country or region where the overseas experience took place may also have an impact. CEOs with overseas backgrounds from common law countries or regions are more inclined to reduce risk financial investments than case law systems. In addition, we find that CEOs' working experience and studying experience both affect the safely financial investments, whereas CEOs working experience and studying experience has not affected the risk financial investments. When selecting several other variables that effectively measure the degree of investment risk to replace the depend variable. The conclusion of this article still support the CEO's overseas background in reducing the company's financial and operational risk. Finally, when the research object of this article is change of CFOs with overseas experience, the overseas experience of CFOs is negatively correlated with risk financial investments and positively correlated with safe financial investments. Consistent with the research results of CEOs' overseas experience, overall our evidence is consistent with conjecture that CEO foreign experience are indeed matters of corporate financial investments. The second is when corporate financial investments motivated by the short-term compensation scheme. Industrial firms and their managers have incentive to invest in final assets which can decrease firms' cash flows, lower liquidity, and increase financial risk. CEO overconfidence has been identified as one of the main factors responsible for simulating firms' investment in risk financial assets. Some literature suggests that the CEO overconfidence can account for corporate investment distortions. Overconfident CEOs overestimate the return on their investment project and overlook the implied financial investment risks. This phenomenon could be extracted but returned to the CEO who gained the ability to manage multi-asset portfolios from overseas experience and become overconfident. This confidence in print may influence their decision making. This is consistent with the theory of confidence meant behavioral finance, which refers to an excessive belief by individuals, including CEOs, in their own information analysis and judgment capabilities. This overconfidence can lead to irrational decision making in financial matters. Moreover, Chinese firms often suffer poor corporate governance and loose internal control systems, which can deprive returns of necessary restraints. The cost of a wrong decision made by an overconfident CEO is too small to justify punishment. In summary, compared with their local peers in China, CEOs with foreign experience can influence their firms to direct more risk financial assets toward investment due to CEO overconfidence and poor corporate governance. On the other hand, a complement argument views that decrease in risk financial investments and the increase in safety financial investments as a vein associated with CEO's risk awareness, which is cultivated in Western countries. Prior, prior studies show that top managers who experience the Great Depression or natural disaster in their childhood are more strongly motivated by risk aversion, resulting in fewer debates. Less research and development investments, and more charitable donation from their companies. In China, CEOs returning from developed countries has often been exposed to the overdeveloped financial market and shaped by financial crises. For instance, OECD countries lost billions of dollars in the 2008 financial downturn, resulting in the millions of lost jobs. Assuming they have experienced such disaster firsthand, returns from OECD countries would likely be more risk-averse in financial investments. Thus, CEOs with foreign experience are more likely to engage in reducing risk financial assets investment or increasing safety financial assets investments. The hypothesis one is ceteris paribus, CEO foreign experience has an accelerating effect on a corporate financial investment decision, which means that CEO foreign experience is possibly associated with risks financial investment and negatively associated with safety financial investment. Hypothesis 1b, ceteris paribus, CEO foreign experience has a monitoring effect on corporate financial investment decision, which means that CEO foreign experience is negatively associated with risk financial investment and positively associated with safety financial investment. Following previously study of the Unity in 2015 and comprehensive consideration of the impact of COVID-19, our sample initially was comprised of list firms of the Shanghai Stock Exchange and Shenzhen Stock Exchange during the period of 2008 to 2018. We exclude financial firms, como banks, insurance companies, and investment trusts, as they have different structures than other companies. We then exclude observation with missing an abnormal variable. Applying the above critical yield of finance sample of 22,642 observation. Financial data and manager data used in the study are obtained from China Stock Market and Accounting Research System. We summarize our sample selection producer in the Table 1 panel A. Panels B of Table 1 report the distribution of our sample across year, although the yearly distribution in Panel B suggests that CEOs with foreign experience are not closer in any years of the sample period. It does show an increased pattern in the last column. In the year 2008, just 4 point that 61% of our sample firms had at least one director with foreign experience. This percentage steadily increased to 11.45% in 2018, which consistent with previous study. Our dependent variable is corporate financial investment following Duchin in 2017, and considering China's accounting standards. We construct two variables to measure corporate financial investment. Risk financial investment is measured as the proportion of risk financial assets to total assets. Risk financial assets include assets held for trading, loans, and payments on behalf available for sale financial assets, derivative financial assets held to mature investment and investment real estate. Safety financial investment is measured as the proportion of safety financial assets to total assets. Safety financial assets include cash and the cash equivalents by construct higher values of RFI and lower values of SFI represent more aggressive financial investments, where lower values of RFI and higher values of SFI represent more conservative financial investments. The effect of corporate governance. Prior studies Prior studies suggest that due to concerns about their reputation, return directors have to pay more attention to shareholder value. Moreover, Ginetti in 2015 find that by improving corporate governance, return directors can increase firm value. We argue that corporate governance play a crucial role in the research of return CEOs on risky and safe financial investment. It is common to see that corporate governance can be divided into internal and external governance, according to the above logic. When the internal governance level of the company is more mature, managers with overseas experience can assume a greater governance role, and the extent to which inhibition limits the kind of short-sighted behavior that would promote financial investments become stronger. Internal governance is a system of managing and controlling the entire operation of the company, while external governance refers to the institutional arrangement of corporate governance made to adapt to the external market. For a more detailed explanation, we demonstrate this hypothesis from two aspects. Through the empirical study of internal and external corporate governance, we can draw the conclusion that when qualities of internal and external corporate governance are poor, the overseas experience of CEOs has better governance effect and can effectively inhibit the investment risk assessed. The CEO transfers his or her cognitive concepts into various financial decisions in actual operation through the company's decision-making system. However, the difference in the CEO's individual characteristics will cause difference in values and behavior patterns, which will affect financial decisions and results. We argue that return CEOs with financial backgrounds might increase safety financial investments, but are likely to avoid risk financial investment in order to promote long-term shareholders' value. Therefore, it is reasonable to investigate the influence of financial background on investment preference of return CEOs. For working experience versus studying experience. Working and pursuing educational degrees are two ways for CEOs to obtain their foreign experience. Follow Yuan and Wen in 2018, and when in 2020, we further consider CEOs' foreign experience in two categories: working experience and studying experience. Specifically, for CEO work, for CEO study, is a dummy variable that if firms hire a CEO with foreign working studying experience in firm E at year t equals 1, otherwise 0, presents the result of the test. The coefficients on for CEO work and for CEO study in column 5 and 6 are negative, but not significant when the dependent variable is RFI. The effect of CEO foreign experience. Drawing on the upper action theory, this article has confirmed the impact of CEOs with foreign experience on a company's financial investment decision. Nevertheless, the chief financial officer also has significant influence in this file. The CFO also deeply involved in the formulation of the company's strategy and the several of the CEO's key strategic partner. Therefore, this article expands the scope of the explained analysis by investigating any potential impact of CFOs with foreign experience. The status of CFOs has also increased due to the increased importance of financial strategy. So they are also referred to as second in command or co-leaders. This expansion can provide valuable insights into the interaction between executive roles and foreign expertise in formulating financial strategies. We find that foreign experience can help improve the company's governance level and suppress short-sighted behaviors, such as a financial investment the result hold after controlling for penny government level and surprise for potential endogenous and possible omitted variable issues, and in change analysis. Further analysis reveals that return CEOs in firms with poor corporate governance have greater impacts in reducing risk financial investment than those in firms with better corporate governance. We also discover that the highly significant negative relationship is indifferent to private firms and state-owned corporate governments. We also discover that the highly significantly negative relationship is indifferent to private firms and the state-owned firms. We find that longer tenure of CEOs with foreign experience are able to enhance the firm's investment in safe financial assets. Moreover, returned CEOs with financial backgrounds are more inclined to suppress the company investment in risk financial assets. However, whether the CEO's overseas experience is work-related or academic, it has a significant impact on corporate financial investments. Considering the effect of legal origin, the research is this paper suggests that CEOs with overseas background for common law countries or regions are more inclined to reduce risk financial investments compared to case law systems. When selecting the indicator NCSKEW to measure the risk of stock price collapse, the variance of stock price return, and the indicator score used to measure the company business risks as dependent variable of regression, the results indicate that the CEO's overseas background can still have suppressive effects on risk financial investment firms. This study adds new evidence that CEOs' heterogeneity matters for corporate decision-making such as a financial assets investment. Our paper also contributes to the growing literature on examining the economic consequences of directors. Our executive firm experience, our findings provide some insights on the practice of corporate governance by attracting foreign talents to help firms reduce financial assets investment. From the government's perspective, realizing that return directors can effectively help corporate investment in industrial activities, the government could put more effort on its return talent policies. Bueno, entonces Como lo vimos a lo largo de que se leyeron como los extractos y las conclusiones más importantes del artículo, este artículo estudia cómo la experiencia de este director ejecutivo, de este CEO en el extranjero o que haya tenido una formación académica en el extranjero, porque digamos que también cuenta como una experiencia, la formación académica en el extranjero y el haber desarrollado habilidades por fuera de su entorno común puede ayudar significativamente a la inversión en las empresas. Pero digamos que lo que más hablaban en el artículo era que estas personas con estas características apoyan más la inversión de la empresa, pero la inversión segura de la empresa. Son un poco más, eh, le tienen un poco más de miedo a arriesgar. No les gusta tanto el riesgo. Hablaban también, por ejemplo, como a mitad del artículo, de que habían encontrado de que directores ejecutivos que habían estado presentes en Estados Unidos cuando ocurrió toda esta crisis en el 2008 de la burbuja inmobiliaria, entonces ellos habían vuelto un poco más aversos al riesgo, pero que esta experiencia les había ayudado mucho porque se encontró que estas personas, o bueno, en general las personas que tienen experiencia en el extranjero, lo que hacen es que reducen el riesgo operativo y reducen el riesgo en las inversiones, dándole también un valor agregado a los accionistas. Además, que se encontró que a las empresas a los que tienen, porque puede que sea una persona que trabajó y estudió en el extranjero o puede que el CEO simplemente pues eh, sea del extranjero y no sea, digamos que del país en la empresa en la que está trabajando en este momento, pero eso le da un valor agregado a la empresa, entonces también le da un valor agregado a los accionistas y algo que me pareció muy importante y de resaltar es que justamente los autores al final del capítulo, del artículo, perdón, dicen que el gobierno debe poner más esfuerzo en querer recuperar esos talentos que tienen en el extranjero eh, para, digamos, esto ayuda mucho a las empresas que están en crecimiento y también ayuda a fortalecer y a incrementar la economía, pues ya hablándolo a manera macroeconómica, pues del país. Eso sería todo por este artículo. Muchísimas gracias.